Happy Hump Day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Actors Area. I'm your host, Sean Grant. Happy to be here midweek. Feeling pretty awesome. I've booked 3 commercials here in the past 6 days, so I'm feeling pretty good. And life is good right now. So if you're interested in seeing how I do that, keep listening to this podcast. But also, if you want to get an idea as to how to get to a place to where you can implement some of the practices that I do, I'm available for coaching. I always put that out there because you just never know who's going to listen to it and who's going to need help moving to the next level. So if you are, contact me at SeanG04@gmail.com, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Other than that, let's get right into it. So this is a special show for me because I have been on both sides of the spectrum. You know, I think as we start our acting career, the first thing that we do is become an extra. And if you've been on a major film set, extras are basically treated in most cases like the scabs. They're treated like the lowest form of society that you could ever imagine. And, you know, it becomes a situation where if you're really not in for the love of it, you can truly get discouraged. You can truly get down on yourself and down on the progression of your career. But at the same time, what I teach is approach it from a spiritual perspective. Approach it from a place of understanding that this is your opportunity to be a part of something you love doing. So I'll give you an example. So when I got into acting, I got in for all the wrong reasons. Fame, money, rub it in people's faces who told me I'd never make it. All the wrong reasons. I loved it, but at the same time, it was one of those things where it was basically just me trying to show off. And so when situations would come about, like me being an extra, my reaction was almost like, how dare they? How dare they treat me like this? How dare they try and put me this way, and just being all high and mighty and prideful. Now, I'm not saying that you have to allow people to treat you bad, but you got to understand the hierarchy of how everything works. So what I did is I just didn't stand for it. I didn't stand for it, so I refused to do it. I refused to work. I refused to do anything in regards to it. Then I started to come to the conclusion, you know what? This could be a lot worse. And so I'm going to take you through the process that helped transform me in regards to extra work, and then how it even helped me when I had the opportunity to become a lead in a Hollywood film. So I first started off by saying, you know what? I could probably be on that smelly truck unloading those boxes that I used to. I could probably be stuck in a cramped up, over air-conditioned office, filing papers, looking at a screen that's damaging my eyes. I could be at a retail store, which I worked many retail jobs. I could be at a retail store, folding clothes. And by all means, I'm not saying these are bad things, but there's certain jobs that you go through in your life that you do because you're still looking to find your passion. And that's where I was with a lot of these. But I thought to myself, you know, I could be doing all those things, but yet and still, I'm on a movie set. And not only am I on a movie set, they're actually paying me to be here. They're like writing me a check at the end of the day to thank me for being a part of the movie that is so important, because people don't like to admit, you take the extras out of it, you take the background out of it, and you pretty much don't have a film. So as I started to think about this process, and more importantly, think about how much I truly loved being an actor, how much I truly loved everything in regards to the film industry, I got more and more excited about being there. I got more and more excited about getting the opportunity to observe and to learn, And it was just one of those things where when I flipped my perspective on what I thought an extra should be or how an extra should be treated, it completely revolutionized. And here's what's great. Here's how you should always think whenever you go to a film set. You should be thinking, okay, I'm going to be on my game. I'm going to be nice to everybody. I'm going to bring high energy. I'm going to focus on making this the best experience possible. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to interact with different people. I'm not going to get in the way of distracting the actors, but at the same time, I'm going to stand out in my performance as a background person, as an extra, because you know what? Here's a story for you, and if you might have heard me say it. There was a time where I was on set of a movie, one of my first films, and I was an extra. And I approached everything with this attitude. I approached everything from the standpoint of, I'm just happy to be here. I'm about to make the best of it. They're giving me $125 at the end of the day. Like, this is exciting. And so I was all over the place, smiling from ear to ear, talking to people. And literally 6 or 7 hours into the day, they pulled me aside and said, we love your energy. We love what you're doing. We want to bump you. We want to bump you up to principal. And it's not something that I was expecting, but that experience alone always lets me know the potential of what could happen whenever I go to be an extra, because ultimately it's your energy that makes the difference. It's your vibration. That's why I teach about the vibrational actor. You're just as important as the number one person on the call list. You're just as important as anybody. So, no matter what position you're in, we're all connected at the end of the day, and you can leap from the bottom to the top very easily when you're putting out the right energy. Okay? So when you understand this, you know that, like they used to say back in the day, there are no insignificant parts. There are no small parts. No one is any less important than any more important than anybody else. You go in with that attitude. You go in with that mindset. You go in with the opportunity, continually telling yourself, I get to do something I love. I get to be around something I love. I may even learn how to understand how lighting works. I may even understand how the gaffers do their thing. I may even get a chance to have a couple words with the director and say, wow, I met that guy. He's really nice. So many things can happen when you're on a set as a background performer. You can never, ever count out the potential for something really great to happen. And I believe it. Like I said, I would go into every situation possible knowing that, something could open up. I got to be ready. I got to be on my A game. Something could come to pass to help me to be thrusted forward into the spotlight. Now, if it doesn't happen, who cares? I still had a great time. I'm still being paid for something that I love doing. But with this new mindset, eventually what will happen is that will manifest because it's something you're expecting. You're putting the energy out there, and sooner or later, the opportunity is going to show up. And I know because I've experienced it, and I know when you place energy or focus onto something, it's usually magnified in a way to make that thing come to pass. So don't get discouraged. If you're just starting out and you've been relegated to background work, that's fine. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. You could possibly get your first line in a film, your first line in a commercial by doing background work. Don't ever get discouraged. Don't ever feel like you're less than the awesome, unlimited, infinite being amazing performer you are because somebody treats you differently. One thing about the film industry is you'll find, not all sets, but some sets, people are interested in building this image to where they feel like they are better than somebody else. And like I said, it's not everybody, but there are some people out there like that, and that's in every industry. At the same time, you can combat that with good energy. You know, you can combat that by basically doing what you need to do, being your very best. Just be a light, you know, send love and light to everybody. Make everybody else's job as easy as possible by doing yours the very best that you can, and knowing that you are in a position to where you've made this production better because you showed up to work with a great attitude. You listened well, you interacted, you did everything that was asked of you and then some. You can go home knowing that, you know what, you've made a good impression, and you never know what that can lead to. You never know who you will see again as far as producer goes, as far as director goes, as far as AD goes, as far as anybody goes. You never know who you'll run into again and who will be there to pretty much, you know, help your career further along. So at the end of the day, know that if you're here, if you're at this place, or, you know, say for instance, you're not in the union and work has been slim, you hadn't really had much opportunity to get many roles per se, speaking wise, don't be afraid to do background work. I mean, once again, how awesome is it did you get the opportunity to go to set and to do something, or rather be around something that you truly love? Like, that's terrific. That's an opportunity right there. Like, think about what else you could be doing. I mean, you could be doing some kind of blue collar work. You could be sitting in an office. You could be doing something that's boring the heck out of you. Take the opportunity, run with it, and allow that to change your vibration, because I guarantee you, if you truly love it and you get the opportunity to be around a film set, you will begin to see your insides, your inner game change up, and like, you'll be so much happier, and that in itself will lead to more job opportunities for you within the industry. So, with that being said, guys, never underestimate an opportunity. Background, featured, principal, supporting, lead, whatever it is, never underestimate the opportunity to be near the place to where you want to be. You know, embody it, envision it, imagine. That's another episode for a podcast that we'll do later on. But when you're on set, envision yourself being that lead actor, being in that trailer, getting ready to walk up to set, being ready to go on, getting ready to hear that roll camera, speed, sound, action. Envision it for yourself, because you deserve it. And that's what you're here for. That's what you've been put on this earth for. So continue to do your very best with it, guys. I'm here for you. Don't hesitate to contact me. And just keep rolling with it. Big things are coming. Great things are coming. And just stay on track with your dreams and your aspirations. And we will see you at the top. Other than that, have a wonderful Wednesday, guys. Always a pleasure. Thanks so much for being here with me. Take care. Talk soon. Bye-bye.